Hello, Steve White's 89. Yeah, Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball. I heard about this and I thought this seems pretty basic. What? Because she's seen as a redhead, she automatically plays Lucille Ball. There was a lot of people complaining that Deborah Messing would have been better playing her. And I love Deborah Messing, and she does a good Lucy. She did an impersonation of Lucy on Will and Grace, and she has a quality about her which I think is much more akin to Lucy. And I'm really not sure now. I mean, I love Lucy, of course. Who doesn't? I grew up watching I Love Lucy as a kid. Not the original show, obviously. Even in repeats, I didn't see that. I think I've only seen a couple episodes of that, the black and white original version. But it was a later show because she did a bunch of shows. She kept going and going and being in TV. But the reason why I love Lucy, of course, Star Trek fans know, Lucille Ball had her own studio that she managed to get through the success of I Love Lucy, called Desilu, which is named after Desi and Lucy. And they were the ones who actually greenlit and put Star Trek, the original Star Trek, into production in 1964 with the pilot. Now, there is the rumour that she actually confused the title of the show for another description, which she totally imagined in her head. And she greenlit the show not knowing what it was. But once she saw what it was, she loved it, she supported it, she fought for it, she kept it going for 2 years, even though she lost money on the show because she believed in it. And it was only cancelled when she had to sell the studio because, frankly, she was an artist and she ran the studio like an artist, not like a business person. Once Desi left, he was the businessman, she was the artist. Once she was left in charge, I don't know if it was just the pressure of it or if it actually was failing, but she sold it to Paramount and then they cancelled Star Trek. So we, Star Trek fans, original Star Trek fans, love Lucy because we know that she was the one who, if it weren't for her, we wouldn't have had Star Trek. Now, the film is called Being the Ricardos, and it's basically a week in the life of Desi and Lucy, and it's about showing who they really were, their real life. It's not about showing the making of the show or her character. It's not showing Lucille Ball. It's not. So no one has to do an impersonation of Lucille, of Lucy's character, Lucy Ricardo. It's about a dramatic portrayal of them as real people. So you could argue that Nicole Kidman would be good at that. But I still don't see her as Lucy. I can't look at her and see it. I know she's a good actress, but she's not that good. I mean, oh my God, how did you say that? But I mean, I'm an Australian too. I'm supposed to be loyal and everything, but she's a good actress, but she's not great. She's put in some very, very thin, paper-thin, water-thin performances. And let's be honest, has she had a hit in the last 15 years? She's already had one shot at doing a beloved 60s character. They did a film version of Bewitched with Will Ferrell, and it was what the Lucy film isn't. It's basically her being the character of Samantha, and she was awful at it. The film was awful. It did not do well. It made $131 million, but it was on an $85 million budget, and it was supposed to make a lot more money, and it was a critical disaster. I saw it, and I couldn't believe how wrong they got it, how bad it was. It was mostly, for me, Will Ferrell was the problem, but she wasn't a very good Samantha. And Samantha wasn't that hard because Samantha, she didn't have the charisma of Jeannie or Lucy. She was a lot more, I don't know how to describe her, but I wasn't a huge Bewitched fan. I did watch it as a kid, and I do have all the DVDs. But yeah, she did not do well, that film. And I went through a filmography, and since doing Bewitched in 2005, she's done 36 films, none of them notable except her role in Aquaman and Lion. That's it. The rest are totally forgettable. None of them made money. I don't understand why she's still a star, other than the fact that once you sort of get a certain level of star status, you kind of keep it. But she's not a box office draw. She's not making money. Now, she could get Oscar nomination. That's what some people were saying, like the critic from Entertainment Tonight was talking about her and basically saying Sorry, there's something in my eye. It was really hurting for about a minute. I was going to try and fake it all the way through, but I couldn't. He was basically saying, when I see, Deborah Messing, I don't see a film. When I see, Nicole Kidman, I see Oscars. And I'm like, is that the point of the film, just to get an Oscar? I thought the point of the film was to tell a great story and really portray these characters. And I'm not sure Nicole can do that convincingly. I think they need to get a great unknown actress who has qualities of Lucille Ball and let her be that character, not Lucille. Not to get confused, Nicole Kidman, she is a movie star in the way that you go see a Nicole Kidman film. You know it's Nicole Kidman. You never forget it's Nicole Kidman. And a lot of people seem to get confused between stars and actors, and stars being able to act or be great actors. Because people go to see a Nicole Kidman film doesn't necessarily mean she's a good actress or playing a good role or convincing. She never disappears in the role. She's still that star, like Tom Cruise. Have you ever seen a Tom Cruise film where it wasn't a Tom Cruise film where he wasn't being Tom Cruise? It's the same sort of thing. So I don't think Deborah Messing necessarily is the best choice, because it's not about recreating Lucy, but I don't think Nicole Kidman is a good Lucy. I've seen a lot of interviews with her in her real life, and Nicole, she's nothing like her, and I know she's an actress. Of course, she's going to create a character, but I don't think her talent is that strong. I don't think she's that good at it. I can't see it working. But I think of her portrayal of Princess Grace of Monaco. I've forgotten her last name. She was okay in that, but that's because that character was similar to her. Lucy is totally different. I just don't see her pulling it off, not without a lot of makeup and maybe some prosthetics. But I can't believe we've been talking for 7 minutes about this. I didn't even realise it was that long. But yeah, I saw it and I sort of was like, no, I'm not buying it. And then Lucy's daughter, Lucy Arnaz, came out and said, look, it's basically happening. It's in pre-production. It's pretty much, it's not signed, but it's pretty much signed. It's going to happen. Get over it. It's not Deborah. It's not recreating Lucy. We're not disrespecting Lucy. This is about portraying my mother as a real serious person, and I want a real serious actress basically to do it. And I agree with that, but I still don't think she's the best actress for it. I just don't think Nicole's that good. And I hate saying that because she is an Aussie and I'm supposed to support her just by default. But I haven't seen a film that I've ever felt she was good in. Every film I ever saw her in, from the Stepford Wives right through to, what was the last thing I saw her in? Aquaman. She's just Nicole Kidman being Nicole Kidman and looking beautiful, and just, maybe the hours, but that, again, she needed a prosthetic nose and a wig, and she needed to totally hide herself to create that character. She wasn't able to really do it without all that work. So I'm just not convinced she can do it. But I'm going to go. I talk way too long. My throat is dry. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Lucy, what you think about Nicole Kidman. I don't know if this is going to be an actual theatrical film anymore, if it's actually going to go into theatres or if it's going to be on HBO or something. I saw the Judy film, which Renee Zellweger was amazing in. She was the best actress to do that character. It just worked. I don't see Nicole pulling it off in the same way, and I just hope. I want Lucy to get a really good deal with this, and I get the bad feeling she's going to get a very bland portrayal by Nicole, and she's going to end up on streaming. So I'm just a bit worried about the production. But other people are saying it's going to be a big Hollywood film, it's going to get Oscar buzz, it's going to be huge. I'm not sure, because there's a lot of these a week in the life of films that have been made lately, like Alfred Hitchcock. They did part of the filming of Psycho. They did that sort of last little period where Judy was, doing her last sort of concert. And they keep doing these little films where they don't cover the whole life of a character, they just take a little part, which is a much cheaper way to do it. And I'm not sure they're really working, because they don't really get the whole story of the person and the whole character. They're too small. I don't know. But let me know what you think. I'm going to go because I cannot talk anymore. I probably sound hoarse. But yeah, feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Maybe even ding the little bell Might actually see one of my videos coming up. I'm going to go. Thanks. Bye.